Hey, this is Anonymous T. Welcome to Anonymous T Podcast. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking, you guys, we have reached the end of the road. Shout out to Boys the Men of Love Island USA Season 6. Tomorrow, Sunday is, well, I guess later today, Sunday, if you were on the East Coast. We're at the end. We're at the end. We have the final four couples, and it is Nicole and Kendall, who were being absolutely smug because they thought that America liked Aaron and Kaylor. No, we don't do toxicity over here. Then we have Jana and Kenny, who were both shocked and thought that they were going home, you guys. We have, of course, Serena and Cordell, who are the favorites to win. And then we have Leah and Miguel, who, again, Nicole and Kendall turned their nose up because they thought for sure that the fake girlfriend proposal that Aaron did, the not taking any accountability for Casa, Kaylor crying every 2 seconds, that was going to be enough. That America was going to see some love story. No. This isn't the UK, you guys. We do not promote toxicity over here. We do not celebrate toxicity over here. We do not, promote mess. Right? The whole point of Love Island is we're supposed to be voting on the couples that we think is the most in love. Now, I'll keep it transparent. I think Serena and Cordell are going to win, but I voted for Jana and Kenny. That's my couple, right? But I have a problem with MAURA as the host on After Sun because the dumped Islanders were on there today, such as, Harrison, Daniela, Sierra, also Rob and Aaron and everything else. I had an issue with MAURA, though, because she asked the panelists, she basically tried to put out there that Janae was more into Kenny than Kenny was into Janae. And I'm like, are we watching the same show? That this man had a breakdown because Janae was threatening to quit the show because he came back with a Casa girl. And, the way that he looks at her, the certain comments that he makes, and little candids that they have, he's definitely into her, right? Now, for all intents and purposes, when it comes to Love Island, but because how I know how all this stuff goes with these couples, I don't get attached anymore to any of these couples. If they last, great. If they don't, great too, right? But I'm not going to go of the mind that the people are going to get married. USA has the worst track record of couples staying together. And the unfortunate thing is there's been so many new viewers that because of the viral clips that have taken place because of Casa, that they don't understand that it's not like the UK, it's not like these other shows. Don't romanticize these couples to the point that you think that they're going the distance, right? But I had an issue with Aaron and Kaylor trying to decampaign Janae and Kenny, all because they're mad they're not in the finals. No. And and then I don't understand, you guys. I understand some of you guys are rooting for Leah, and I did like the moment between Leah, Janae, and Serena when it was confirmed that they were in the finale. But you guys that are buying followers for Leah to try to get her to 1 million by tomorrow, this isn't a good look. You are messing up her opportunities for brand deals. You are messing it up for her. You're messing it up for yourselves, because what companies look like is not just the followers. They look at the engagement. They look at the number of likes. They look at the number of comments. And if half of the followers aren't real, guess what? They're not going to offer you anything. But nonetheless, there's several rumors anyways about Leah allegedly with some rappers, with Tyga, with everything else. So again, until I see receipts that her and Miguel are going to go the distance, we'll see whose blue check marks are in her DMs and whether or not she's going to see this Miguel thing through or not. But nonetheless, I also have a problem with the show still trying to push this Leah and Rob narrative, you guys. It is disrespectful to Leah and Miguel's current couple. It is disrespectful to flat out ask that to Rob while he's sitting there next to Cassie. There's just no decorum. No decorum at all. Listen, if Rob wanted, to be with Leah as bad as you guys are claiming, why didn't he work to try to make that happen? Because Leah would have forgave him with open arms. But he did everything. He was in 6 meaningless couples. And never once, said, hey, I want to recouple with Leah. I want to get things back on track with her. No. That didn't happen, so stop trying to push the false narrative, you guys. Also, I still had an issue with the Family Day nonsense of, again, not having all the couples see Family Day. The one thing that they did spill in After Sun today is a preview of the dates that we are going to see in the finale. So the finale dates, and it kind of sounds like, from what it sounds like, I'll tell you kind of why I think this. It sounds like Serena and Cordell won, but I'm going to explain why. So they first said the first date we're going to see is we're going to see Kendall and Nicole go parasailing. We're going to see then next Leah and Miguel, and they're going to be riding ATVs and 4-wheelers. That doesn't really give romantic to me, but maybe that's their energy of just something, fun to do. Also, they said next is going to be Serena and Cordell. It's going to be like a date night. They're going to be the only ones at like this outdoor movie theater drive-in type of setup. And it's going to be their love story from day one to now. And then they said Jana and Kenny are going to be last. And their date is also at nighttime. And it's like all of these trees of like words of affirmations that their families have said to each other. And then there's a letter from Janae's mom and a letter, I think, also for Kenny as well from their families. So they have like a little bit of an intimate moment on that particular date that, I think is going to cause some tears, right? And all of the things. So, but I don't know whether or not Janae or Kenny, I know a lot of people tried to vote for them and tried to rally votes for them, but I still think the edge is going to go to Serena and Cordell. But it's just funny seeing these dumped islanders that are completely clueless of how America perceives them. And just think that their little messy behavior got on notice. That America was not going to pick up on, the stupid things that they were trying to pull. Right? But nonetheless, I am very much happy that this is ending, because you guys that are doing these discourses on social media as to why you're trying to root for somebody, but you're putting down the other couples, it's unnecessary. The show ends tomorrow or later today. The show ends today. What are you guys doing? And again, please do not send hate to people. I hate that we even have to do this, but Love Island and Big Brother, some of these reality TV shows, you guys are nonstop. Listen, nobody is forcing you to like these people. You can have your faves, you can have people you want to root for, but sending hate because you don't like a couple that's together or you don't want a certain couple to win or whatever, it's unnecessary. And apparently, Kendall's sister has some beef with the person who is running Kendall's social media account, because they're basically presenting Kendall's account as like, listen, this is the quote-unquote white winner that you need to choose for the show. And very much, Kendall's sister is digging in the archives to show that there are black people in their family, that they have melanin in their family, and that, Kendall isn't a white guy. like, it is just mad. It is absolutely mad, the chaos that's taking place. We had one of Rob's old girlfriends, or a friend of his ex-girlfriends, talking about how he's a jerk and some other things. We have Kenny's 4-year situationship that should have stayed in the bushes, that was hyping him up. We just have all these people who want all this clout because they see how popular the show is and that the ratings are through the roof. It's the highest ratings ever out of all the 6 seasons of USA, and these people cannot handle it. Some of these people cannot handle it, and it shows. Just root for your faves and keep it moving. You guys that are going into these dissertations, you guys that are going into these conspiracy theories, no. And I want to say this in defense of Jana and Kenny. Like I said, regardless of what happens on the outside, it's going to be on the outside, right? Like, we're here to vote on what the story we saw on the show. So production, the past couple of episodes, like I did a previous video, is whether or not production sabotaging Jana, is we've seen the least overall of Jana and Kenny. So, and it's not because they're boring. It's not because they're not giving anything. It's because it's blatant. It's blatant that the production crew was hoping that giving Jana and Kenny a ghost edit, that they were not going to have any votes. And that could be a way for Aaron and Kaylor to slide into that finale spot, even though they fumbled their own back. They were the favorites to win this entire time until Casa. And then it just completely went left, and then the favorites became Kendall and Nicole, but ultimately Kendall started turning people off with his behavior at Casa, of egging people on, and Nicole being smug. And them just being very arrogant. It turned off a lot of people. But I'm going to need, production to fairly show everybody. Because why did you guys have a Q&A session for After Sun for the final 4 couples, and half of the questions that you asked everybody else, you edited out Kenny and Janae's answers? Why? Like, even now, you're still trying to find ways to not incorporate them. Even with the wedding episode the other day, you guys, everybody, so they have this wedding challenge, right? Everybody's dressed up as the bride and groom. They have to, like, slide down and enter this champagne pool, and then they have to, like, dance on the dance floor, but the dance floor is like a slip and slide, and then they have to eat wedding cake and get this key, and then they also have to partake and do, like, a, pretend like, hey, this is us on a honeymoon bed, right? Very interesting challenge, right? But where I got mad was they edited out the Jana and Kenny honeymoon scene, but I saw later in pictures, it looked pretty X-rated. Just like what happened to the footage of Kenny and Jana in the hideaway. We find out after the fact that there's jacuzzi, there's champagne, there's all this other stuff that we didn't see. And the hideaway that they did show us, they showed us the different toys and the different games, the adult toys and games. And then we saw, Janae basically tell production to turn the lights out, and that was it. That was the shortest hideaway scene I've ever seen in the history of the show across all franchises, you guys. Literally, Nicole and Kendall got 20 minutes. Of just Kendall saying, oh my gosh, you're so hot. like literally, right? So I know a couple of things. I know something definitely went down, right? But the rumor is that on these shows, and I'm not sure if this applies to USA, but I know the UK Islanders have said this, that if you don't say what happened, they can't show it. So maybe that's the case, since Janae and Kenny decided, hey, we're going to keep whatever we did private. So that means then they can't air that. So that is why in the Q&A, when they said that their favorite moment was the hideaway, but Kenny's licking his lips, and Janae is saying, but we went to bed right after, we went to sleep right after, Mom. And Kenny is just staring at her, licking his lip. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, you guys did not just go to sleep. But I'm here for it. Right? I just want to see the unedited footage, right? I just need to find where the unedited footage is so I can see what it's about, right? Because when I saw Kenny at the heart rate challenge, I was like, yeah, right? Cordell and Serena, like I said, there seems to be mixed reviews on this couple. They have a large fan base. I'm not worried too much about them per se. I just found interesting some of the scenes that they choose to air, like airing Serena's favorite comment when basically she cussed out Cordell at Casa, and even the questions that they had that aired on After Sun. It didn't seem romantic, and so I don't know if this is intentional, that they're trying to still, like, present Serena and Cordell as, like, friendship vibes, but it's very bizarre editing. Because, you know, we see that obviously they've exchanged rings before, and they exchanged the rings again. They're wearing the rings again, but we have no context of how that came to be. So I'm hoping on their final date we can see a little bit of their romance, because we see a lot of their friendship and we see a lot of their dynamic of when they're whenever Serena's being petty, or whenever Cordell feels like he's trying to do the most and on all these things. We see the playfulness and all of that, but we never really see the romance if you guys pay attention, right? And so, and even to an extent, the same thing with Leah and Miguel, because they spent so much time on Rob and all of his failed couples, and again, all on Aaron and Kaylor. So a lot of the times we don't have a good read on a lot of these things. That's why I can't take these dumped Islanders seriously when they go on the campaign for and against certain people. But nonetheless, you guys, we could argue, we're hamming it up for the cameras. But I just want Kaylor to sit down and watch everything from start to finish, to just beyond Casa Amor, to watch what Aaron says and does in scenes without her, and how he treats her, because he's claiming that he's going to move to the US. I don't know if I buy it, because this is like his third or fourth reality show. I need to see it to believe it. I think he'll hang out for a few days to write out, the finale and everything else. But beyond that, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Everybody is saying the right things right now because they just got out the villa and they know that the spotlight is on them. But let's see if you have the same energy in a couple of weeks. Because I think Aaron is definitely wanting to come back for Love Island games. You can't tell me any different, right? And the people that are requesting a spinoff of this cast, no, we don't need a spinoff of this cast, you guys. You can't recreate magic twice, because the problem is when you bring these people back a second time on reality TV, either they're going to give the same energy or they're going to flop. Right? Because now they're aware of what the public thinks of them, whether they like them or dislike them. So they're going to be more camera conscious. So it's not going to give the same magic of not knowing what the public thinks of you. That's why this season was so successful, because outside the revelation of the public votes, these Islanders had no clue what people thought of them. And this is one of the seasons that it feels as though, even if people did say something to them about the outside, it seems that they were in disbelief. Because even when it was announced that Leah and Miguel were going to be the fourth couple over, Kaylor and Aaron, it was Rob that pointed to Cassie as if they had a conversation and previously where Cassie was going to say no, Leah and Miguel are going to be in the final. Jana and Kenny are going to be in that final. And but because it seems that these Islanders, what they perceived of who the top couples are in the villa, is not the energy that we see. So I'm happy finally that our votes mattered and they didn't do a stupid bottom three, because that's what it was heading, right? It was heading to a bottom three, and it was going to be a situation where they would have made the Islanders choose, and they would have obviously tried to choose Kaylor and Aaron over Leah and Miguel, and it's unnecessary. It is completely unnecessary. And also, I didn't like that they tried to do a bottom three, because when you guys announced the people that were going to be in the finale, you said in no particular order. But you galvanized the Leah fans by making it look like it was the bottom three, that they had the bottom three votes, when Leah and Miguel have been, right up there with Serena and Cordell and Jana and Kenny in these polls. But you did that, and it's going to send the opposite message to the Leah fans in thinking that she doesn't have enough votes. No. I am just hoping, though, that Kendall and Nicole see fourth place, because they need to be humbled. They absolutely need to be humbled, because I am not buying what they're selling. Because they are trying too hard, and I cannot believe so many people believe it. Like, even Kendall's sister sees through the tomfoolery, that this isn't it, right? And so then from there, I guess also, we didn't see, I guess in a deleted scene, I guess Kendall's dad also was in the family visit as well, but they didn't show that. So just a lot of weird stuff that's just been cut out of the show, again, to present a certain narrative. Like I told you guys, since the show has been on Peacock, they're using the UK producers, and so they're trying to utilize the same tactics of focusing on storylines that the voters don't care about. It's like if our polls are telling you the couples that we want to see, the couples that we're rooting for, why are you spending all this time on Rob and Aaron yesterday? Like, it was completely and utterly exhausting. Starting the show with them, ending the show with them, the romantic Dawson's Creek music playing, for what? And then trying to, again, do another montage on After Sun. If they're going to be together, they'll be together. But again, we don't need to waste time with these delusional nonsense, right? We know that Aaron cares more about Rob than he does Kaylor. We know that Aaron, what was, instead of him crying and being upset that he was leaving, he was excited to be leaving with Rob. It is crazy. So if Aaron, to circle back to Aaron saying he's moving to America, the only way he's moving to America is if it's in an apartment with Rob as his roommate, you guys. But this notion that this thing that, Aaron and Kaylor are trying to sell right now, because they're going to be in their prove the people wrong era, but we'll see how long that lasts. We will see how long that lasts, because the podcasts are going to bring up Casa a million times, just like they did with Sully and Johnny, just like they did with, Isaiah and Sydney and others. And it's going to be an annoyance. Replaying over and over and over again your couple, your dude disrespecting you, and like Johnny and others trying to do the girlfriend proposal, trying to do these grand gestures so that the people will forget all of the mess and the chaos you did behind Kaylor's back. No, it doesn't work that way. That is why you are not in the finale. So I can't wait for these podcast interviews, because I feel like that's going to tell the story as well. And I know a lot of people are hyping up this Leah, Janae and Serena friendship. But again, I need to see how this is going to go, because this happened last season on Love Island UK season 10, where everybody hyped up the Whitney, Catherine and Ella friendship, but I never felt that it was all three of them were really all in, like it seemed, right? It seemed like Catherine was close with Ella and Catherine was close with Whitney, but Whitney never saw it for Ella. Until this day is still throwing shade. And so this is how I feel in the dynamic of the Serena, Janae, and Leah friendship. I feel like Serena and Leah are super close, and I feel like Serena and Janae are close, but not sure. And this is due to how Leah moved in the Connor situation. How she was throwing shots at Janae, how she was going behind Janae's back, how she was laughing and having Connor and all these other people, trying to say better things about her and throw shade at Janae. That's not behavior. That's not sisterhood, you guys. So it is going to be very interesting to see, because both Leah and Serena live in LA. So I know they're going to be locked in, but it's going to be interesting to see the Janae dynamic in this. If she is as close to Leah as well, right? So nonetheless, everybody's saying the right things right now. Everybody is in the bubble of Love Island, but they're going to get out of the villa and they're going to see all the stand wars. And unfortunately, sometimes these Islanders play into that, right? Unfortunately, these Islanders play into that and try to appease their fans and believe some of the messiness that their fans try to concoct. I hope that the Islanders are above that and, trust what their real friendships are and all of the things. Also, shout out to Kenny, because I think he sees through these Islanders. It is clear as day to me that he does not like these people. When Janae said at the dinner yesterday that she loved everybody and everybody was going to be in the group chat and that they were all invited to the wedding, Kenny wasn't looking at Janae like, what are you talking about, the wedding? He was looking at her like, I don't want these people at the wedding. I don't want to see these people again. I don't think he likes most of those guys. Most of the time, if you guys have paying attention, once Nigel left, the only other person that he really talks to and really tells, some one-on-one stuff is with Cordell. He is closest to Cordell in that villa, you guys, and to an extent, it seems that he's cool with Miguel, but as far as everybody else, he can take or leave. Notice anybody else that asks him questions about him and Janae, he gives very surface level answers and doesn't give too much away. And people think that that was disinterest, and it was no. It's he doesn't want these people to know what the real tea is on him and Janae. He wants to keep that private because he doesn't like these dudes. Even at Casa Amor, even though Kenny didn't really move mad and always spoke highly of Janae, he was observing how these other dudes were moving. And I could tell that he was disgusted by their behavior. Because some of these people are like older than him and are acting like, completely immature children, right? So there's little things, there's little nuances of things that you pick up on certain people, and I don't think he likes these people. So that's probably why Aaron was trying to throw shade, because he knows that Kenny doesn't see it for him. He's probably heard through the grapevine that Kenny doesn't like how Aaron moved at Casa or whatever, or all these gestures, because I found it funny that during the girlfriend proposal of Aaron and Kaylor that everybody's making a big deal of, everybody was downstairs except for Kenny and Janae. They were off in their own little world. They were off in their own little world, and before people could even celebrate, production sends the text that, hey, the hideaway is open. And that was the funniest thing, because Kaylor and Aaron thought, boom, we have this girlfriend proposal, we're going right to the hideaway, and Kenny was like, it was for my winning team. It was for the pink team that won the Olympics, you guys. So therefore, me and Janae got this. So it's things like that the cast dynamics is going to be very interesting, right? And that's why I don't get too attached anymore, because unfortunately you can see some of these friendships that play up for the camera's sake, and you can see what really is genuine. And when Janae said to Kenny that she wanted to do a double date with Cordell and Serena in Texas, I believe her. Right? And the comment about LA, I don't think Janae particularly, I don't know whether or not she's going to move to LA, but I think she just made that comment in reference to how Serena said that her sister sees, Leah and Janae as their adopted sisters. It's funny because the comments that Serena's sisters made me remember that it was similar comments that Whitney's sister made, where they were shouting out Ella and Catherine too, but nonetheless, it was them that wasn't really fooling with. Yeah, it's a lot that I have to see how they're going to move outside this villa, right? And ultimately, I'm going to have to see how this is going to impact who will or will not be on Love Island Games, right? Because I believe Love Island Games, it was supposed to be back towards the end of this year, but they said it's coming back in 2025, but I think it's because they don't want to interfere with the Olympics, but I don't understand why they just couldn't do it at the end of this year. So we'll be on the lookout for that as well. But nonetheless, who do you guys think in the comments is going to win the show? Like I said, I voted for Janae and Kenny, but I think Cordell and Serena have it. But it sounds like from the description of the dates, it sounds like Cordell and Serena and Janae and Kenny had the most romantic dates. But I think it's a fake out by having Janae and Kenny last to make you guys think that Serena and Cordell got second place. But I think they actually won. So the dates were already pre-taped, right? The tapes were, they happened, I believe they were taped today. And so, nonetheless, the part that we're going to see tomorrow, because I think USA, because technically it's not live, technically I think they're like a day behind us, or a day or two ahead of us, I should say. So with that being said, I think that they are reading the final results either today or they're filming it, sometime tomorrow or whatever. Hopefully we see declarations, and hopefully by tomorrow night, like I'm hoping maybe tonight they're finding out who won. That's what I'm thinking. I'm feeling like tonight is like they know who won. And then what's going to happen is after the episode airs tomorrow, where we're going to see them on social media. It is usually how I remember it, right? That it's not going to be live, right? But that, well, it's not live like how the UK is. For their finale. So that's kind of how I remember things, because the thing with the UK is you can still vote up until a certain point in the live finale. That's not how the USA rocks it, right? Normally what happens is you have a certain amount of time, like the day or two before, and then that's it. And then they film that finale. So that's what I'm thinking is taking place, that since they already did the dates and stuff, that they probably already filmed everything else. They already filmed the final declarations. They already filmed who won, and we're going to get all that tomorrow. So there is that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.